My name's Victoria and I finished being a mentor in July 2008, and for purposes of confidentiality I'll refer to the child I was mentoring as Jessie.
Okay, so tell us a bit about Jessie and the challenges that she faced.
Jessie she's an absolutely fantastic child. I'd say her main issues at the time of meeting her were the fact that she had a really low self-esteem, had really low aspirations, both coming from her and her family, and to some degree school as well. So she had quite low aspirations, and that impacted on her learning at school because she didn't really engage with what was going on in the classroom, and she didn't really feel like she had any reason to work because she didn't feel like she would achieve anything out of it.
And what activities did you do in the mentoring sessions? What sort of things did you enjoy together?
We did a massive range of activities, ranging from using the local library, which became a really important meeting point for us, to going swimming, going to art galleries such as Tate Modern and the National Portrait Gallery. We went to London Zoo. We went horse riding at the end of the mentoring process. So it was a massive range of sessions.
And what were the high points of the mentoring for you? What worked very well?
What worked really well sometimes were the things that were unplanned. For example, the final session, we happened to go blackberry picking by the canal, which was a really kind of low-tech, basic session, unplanned. But that, kind of unplanned things can go really well. As well as that, going to galleries as well, because you kind of think as an adult that children aren't always going to get modern art, but because they don't have lots of preconceived ideas, sometimes get it more than we do.
And what would you say were your main challenges? What did you find difficult in the mentoring?
The main challenges, I think, were trying to convey to a child why they should have high expectations, trying to get her to believe in herself, and often that meant going against what she was being told by family and school. Another challenge was some of the negativity that was encountered within the home in terms of their attitude to the child, as well as the kind of time limitations that you have for working with the child.
And what would you say were the main changes that you noticed by the end of the year?
The main changes that I noticed were the fact that she was way more confident. She was actually getting engaged by things around her, and you could tell that she was really excited when she was doing things well, which meant that in school she was kind of working harder and learning, and that was, again, it was evidenced by her achievement in her SATs at the end of the year.
And what would you say you gained from being a mentor?
I gained loads from being a mentor. It's a really fun opportunity to do things that you wouldn't normally have the chance to do. I learned a lot about children, and I learned a lot about the wider context of what's going on with a child in school, because I'm actually doing a PGC now to be a primary school teacher, so it was really fantastic getting the chance to see all of the different things that go on in a child's life that amount to kind of why they're at the stage that they're at.
Okay, and finally, tell us about the ending when you had to say goodbye to the child. What was that like for you, and why do you think it's important that has to happen?
The ending was quite difficult for me, and I felt quite sad saying goodbye to Jess, but what was great about it was that she was at a stage in her life where she felt that she didn't need me anymore, and that meant that at the final session I was probably the one who was more emotional than her, which is how it should be, really. So I think it came at the right time. We talked about it throughout the mentoring year, about the fact that I was her mentor and I wasn't there to be her friend or part of her family. So she was prepared for the fact that after the 12 months we weren't going to see each other. And that was something that was kind of constantly reviewed as we went along. And I think it's really important that you have that boundary, purely because you can't commit indefinitely to spending time with a child. And the sorts of children that Chance UK mentor are children who unfortunately tend to be let down by parents, and kind of they have instability in their lives. So it's really important that you go into the situation with a clear definition of what you're aiming to do and how long you're going to be able to spend time with them.
So you think it increases stability in their life?
I think so, definitely.
Mm-hmm.